Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode in the series Conversations with Shelly. I am Shelly for those of you who are joining me for the first time. And for those of you who have been here for a little while, sticking and staying, going through this with me, this new journey with me, helping me to figure out the ebbs and the flows of it all. Thank you for being here and for always lending your ears and some of you, your eyes as well. Really do appreciate it. Always a pleasure to have you. Today I'm just gonna do some random ramble. I seem to be doing a lot of random ramble these days. I think because sometimes the time doesn't allow me to do something structured for you, but I committed to being consistent and I want to ensure that I'm always consistent on here. Um so as I said, it's Friday. What is this computer saying? It's Friday the 28th of November 2025 at about 6:45. And today was a very long day for me. Um, you know, but one of the things that I wanted to ramble on about today is that is I don't know if you guys remember the book, The Secrets, the Law of Attraction. Yeah. I read that book years ago, more than 20 years ago. More than 20 years ago. Guys, I'm also coming down with some things. I have a sore throat and I also have the sniffles. Hopefully, you're able to hear me through the hoarseness. But more than 20 years ago, I read The Secret. I was introduced to The Secret by a very good friend of mine. And I decided that I would have read the book, watched the movie, did all of that, and do the journal and everything. And I learned quite a lot. And some of the things that I learned in The Secret shocked me. It did. And I wanted to talk about it today because I know, even though it's many, many years ago, I do believe that a lot of the things that we do daily um, sits on this principle of the law of attraction. So for those of you who would probably be interested in the book, it's on Amazon, and today's Black Friday, guys. You can probably get it for a steal. But when I read it many many years ago, I'm gonna share with you how powerful this thing was, and the idea of thoughts becoming things, and the fact that your words have power, and the thought that you attract what you put out. Yeah. So many many years ago, as I said, more than 20 years ago, I was introduced to this book by a friend of mine. At first, I thought it was some metaphysical method thing and this whole universe, believing in the universe, everything, which it probably is. But I didn't take from it the idea of the universe and you not having um a religious basis because I'm a God fearing person, right? And I didn't take from it those aspects that have been known to be devoid of, you know, religion, but more metaphysics. What I took from it was the fact that one of the principles of the Bible is that your words are powerful. And I remember growing up, my grandmother used to say to me, don't let the devil run with your thoughts. Don't speak your thoughts. Don't let the devil run with it because if he catch wind of it, I eat that. So the principle that the law of attraction was founded on is Bible based. So again, the two merge. Metaphysics, religion merge into what it is now, the law of attraction. Let me go back to where I was. So 20 years ago I read this book, watched the movie, and I was like, oh my God. Why didn't somebody tell me about this? And guys, I put everything into practice that I learned in that book, and I'm gonna start with this story. So this is also a story time. I read the book and I just started to gather income. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say wealth. I'm going to say income. And I said to myself, I'm going to do a vision board coming out of this law of attraction because the law of attraction said to me from these tapes, thoughts become things. So if I think it long enough, I'm going to employ certain things, certain strategies, certain moves, certain disciplines that will drive me into getting the things. So I went to the bookstore. I got myself I remember it vivid. It was a white cartridge paper, a pair of scissors. It's a vision board, guys. It's not nothing, you know, great. Got myself a pair of scissors. I got myself some newspaper clippings. I went on the internet and I started to print things. And I remember printing, I don't know what you call this blue. And guys, if you know me, you know, so you don't want to know, so I'm not lying. What you call this color blue? Whatever this blue is. I went on the internet and I printed a blue RAV4, that color. I also printed a red Toyota Ronex. I can't find the red now, but it was blood red, like a cherry red. And I put them on the vision board. I also put on the vision board completing my master's, going to law school, finding a job of my dreams, and I had a couple of other things on there. Guys, I folded the the vision board because it was cartridge paper, so I folded it into four. Because at the time I thought I don't want anybody. And guys, I wasn't ashamed, but at the time when the secret came out, a lot of persons were concerned that it had its roots in um spirituality. Yeah. So, and coming from a religious background that I didn't want my parents to, I don't know how weird this is because they wouldn't have cared anyway. Trust me, they wouldn't have. I don't know why we as children come up with the things that our parents would have done. I'm telling you, mine wouldn't have cared either way. Guys, I lost my bracelet somewhere. Anyway, right. So I folded it with the intention that I was gonna hide it. And guys, please, if you know me, you know truth. Years later, I bought my first car. Cherry red Toyota Ronix. Finished my thesis, started law school. No, all of this evaded me. I didn't even remember that I had that vision board. Guys, I'm not telling you that it was 2 years later. I'm telling you it was years later. Maybe 4 years, 5 years later. I was decorating my room, or my parents were decorating my room. And I pulled out a book. And in pulling out the book, the cartridge paper fell out. No, guys, this is a cartridge paper. I fold in like four pieces. It folds totally little bit because me tell you, I was ashamed of my parents finding out that I was dabbling into this world of metaphysics and da 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 da, and they taught me religion and all of that. So, little shame did come with this something. Anyway, the paper dropped out, and you know who proceeded to open up this white cartridge paper. Lo and behold, me open the cartridge paper, and I was shocked, guys. Me shocked so till. The very picture of the car, the very color, the very model, the very make, it me a drive. It me a drive. My sister took me to her friend's car mart, and as I look on the car mart, I said, I want that one. My mind had it locked in from when I printed it off the internet 4 years before. I stepped on the Paul, your car lot. I don't know if he still has a car lot because it was years ago. But for those of you who remember my red Ronex, Toyota Ronex, guys, that car was made for me. I drove to the car mart and I looked around. It didn't take me long. I looked around, I left right, and I said, she, me want she. Bought it, drove it home. Months later, redecorating my bedroom, my childhood bedroom, the paper drop out, open it, box the picture of the car, stick up in the right hand corner exactly as it was in the driveway. I said, nope. But at the top of the cardboard, it says the secret, the law of attraction. Guys, I started to, me start to get nervous. Me really start to get nervous, like me really was shaking. Because I'm saying, no freaking way. And I started to look at the rest of the things. And I go, master's done. Law start. Job of my dreams. What? Guys, when I say to you, all the things I had on that piece of paper that I tucked away were locked in my subconsciousness. And I went through life subliminally getting the feed and the message that you need this red car, you need to finish your master's, you need to go to law school, and these were the four things that I had locked in my subconscious. Now, you know how shocked I was to know that the law of attraction really worked. Because I'm saying my thoughts became these things. So you know you're a good girl. Because she said anything will work. If it don't broke, she ain't fixing it. So throughout my entire life, to this day, I still practice the law of attraction in the form of the secret. Fast forward years later, same thing. Vision board at my house. Put it up. Yellow cartridge paper. 2024. Everything was on there. Building my house, reconstructing my house, having the perfect um, um, mental state, going to the gym, losing weight, getting the skin back together, here, um, having the fantastic relationship, religion, getting myself right with God, all on my vision board, 2024. Pace up. I couldn't check any of them because 2024 was just a year where, oh God, don't know what happened. But every time I passed that wall in my house, my brain connected to the things that were listed there for 2024. But 2024 gone 1 year now. Or should I say, yeah, 1 year now. Yeah. Moved, well, I didn't move, but relocated from my house. So I haven't been seeing the vision. See, I haven't been seeing the board for a little while. Went back to my house, looked on the board. No, my other half took a pen and marked through the 2024 because we were very much in 2025 by the time he caught wind on the board. And he ran a black marker through the four and turn it into five and say, 2025, you're going to try to achieve these things. So at the beginning of 2025, the the board had the five marks through, the four marks through, and he replaced it with a five. Now for the entire 2025, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, I did nothing. In August, lie, yeah, that's not true. Let me not date it. For most of 2025, I did nothing. In my mind, I didn't do anything because I wasn't seeing them physically being manifested daily. But I was dropping little nuggets because my mind had it locked in. And my thoughts were locked in to the things that I needed to become. My house constructed. No, guys. Okay, I wasn't doing these things actively, I was just, every now and again, I say, okay, let me add on this, let me add on that, let me put on something. And it just became, that was on my board. Then I had lose weight, get health better, get the hair, the nails, get myself together. Guys, it just happened. And I'm not going to go through the list of things, but when I tell you your thoughts become things, and the reason I'm saying this to you is because this morning I woke up and I woke up knowing, had a feeling that something was going to go awry. And I said, Shelly, not making this thought turn into anything. And I sent it back to the pits of hell. I said, hell, take your package because she don't want it. And I sent it back. I don't know what would have happened if I had rolled into the negativity of the moment that it had started. But I certainly said, it's not going to happen. I'm going to turn this negative into a positive. And I saw where the negative was coming from. I saw it. And anybody who decided to send a rose, I replaced it. And you got what I would call, in our Jamaican colloquialism, you got a maca. So, a rose, you got a maca. You didn't come to mess up my thoughts. You didn't come to mess up my day because I sent it back to the sender. So when I tell you your thoughts become things, guys, think positive. Think positive and allow your positive thoughts to determine and to drive and to dictate your days, your weeks, your months, and your year. And at the end of the year, you will see the fruits of your positive labor. Don't live with bitterness. Don't live with regret. Don't live with sadness. Don't live with anger. And don't live certainly with pain. Because all those things manifest and they fester. And when they fester into things that you will no longer have control over and they will spiral. So from me to you, your thoughts are very important. Your thoughts are very powerful. There's power in the things you say. So say good things, do good things, think good things. And that's my little thought to you today. Thank you as always, my extraordinary, for sticking and staying and for loving me the way that I love you. And until I see you next,